Hello folks, welcome back to my channel. This is Horror Town, and today I have another horror movie review for you, and this time I will be doing it on Friday the 13th, the 1980 American slasher film, the classic, one of the most iconic franchises in the history of horror. And the reason I've decided to doing it now is because of the fact that we're in June right now, so I thought to myself, what better time to be reviewing these films than the current time that we're presently in, right? So Friday the 13th, the 1980 American slasher film. What is it about? So first off, let's get the technical information out of the way so that we can proceed with this review. And God willing, I will try my level best to review it without spoiling too much. So this movie, first off, was produced and directed by Sean S. Cunningham, and the screenplay was written by Victor Miller, and the movie stars Betsy Palmer, Adrienne King, Harry Crosby, Laurie Bartram, Mark Nelson, Janine Taylor, Robbie Morgan, as well as Kevin Bacon, right? So those are the main actors in the film who played, right? And now let's get on to the events of the film. What is this movie about? What's happening? What's going on? What's occurring? So basically, this movie is centered around this place, this summer camp known as Camp Crystal Lake, and it all begins in 1958 as a tragedy occurs. And I'm not going to tell you what it is because I don't want to spoil too much or anything, but it's a big theme in the film. And this is how it kind of all begins, so to speak, right? Then after that, the movie shifts to 1980. So basically, Friday the 13th, as a matter of fact, Friday, June 13, 1980. And this is when kind of the big story is centered in, when it takes place, right? So basically, we have a camp counselor and a cook, and basically, or actually that's one person, camp counselor and cook. I'm sorry, I'm kind of checking it out on Wikipedia, trying to get my thoughts straight. And I'm not reading off or anything, I'm just checking it out to see what kind of, to kind of refresh my memory, right? I didn't watch this movie a long time ago, but it's always nice to have some kind of material to help me through this review, to help me, right? So basically, we have Annie, and basically she's gonna be hitchhiking with a truck driver named Enos, and basically Camp Crystal Lake is about to reopen, and she wants to go there in order to work there with the rest of the crew. And what happens is that Enos kind of tries to dissuade her, to talk her out of doing that because of the events that occurred before, and that he's hinting at the possibility of this camp not being safe for her. But Annie is gonna decide to go there anyway. She doesn't really, she's not gonna take heed in those warnings. She's gonna decide to go anyway, and she's gonna hitchhike again, right? And what happens after that is gonna be pretty big. But I don't want to spoil too much or anything. I'll let you find out for yourselves, and whether she makes it to her destination or not, you'll have to watch in order to know, right? And for those who have watched it, please don't spoil for those who haven't watched it, because I don't want to give that away since it's a big thing. And I want to keep this spoiler as sorry, I'm trying to keep my thoughts in order. I'm trying to keep this review as spoiler free as I possibly can, right? And I apologize if sometimes I kind of give too much away. I'm trying my level best not to. So basically, after that, there's some ensuing scenes, a chasing scene in the woods, and so on and so forth. Then we have our main kind of characters in the film, and they are basically already at the camp. They're arriving there, as a matter of fact. We have the counselors. We have, so their names are Ned, Jack, Bill, Marcy, Brenda, as well as Alice. And basically, yes, Alice is working with the owner. She's working alongside him. His name is Steve Christie. And basically, they're working on the cabins, some refurbishing stuff for basically to kind of prepare it for the campers who are about to arrive, right? Basically, there's a thunderstorm, thunder season, and basically Steve is gonna they're gonna try their level best to, you know, work, how can I say, to set everything up before this the thunder, kind of strikes, approaches, whatever you wanna call it. And basically, yeah, there's gonna be this kind of presence around the campsite, and I'm not gonna tell you what it is. And I'm sorry, I'm not gonna tell you who that is, but basically, some mysterious stalker is gonna be kind of stalking the Grants, prowling the in the woods, and it appears that that person is up to no good. And since it's a slasher film, and I'm not gonna be, and I believe that it won't be spoiling, but yeah, things are gonna, let's just say that a body count is gonna, being, how could I say, is gonna rise, and kills are gonna occur. But I'll let you find out for yourselves who gets killed, how, when, and who survives. I'm not gonna tell you what it is, who does. I'll let you find out for yourselves as you watch the film progresses, as you see the events unfolding, right? So basically, yeah, we have our main characters, and one thing is going to lead to another. They're going to start kind of, well, they're going to be picked up one by one, right? It's no spoiler, it's obvious, right? And the readers who have watched it, you know exactly who, but please keep it keep it on the down low, right? Keep it, not don't tell, right? Don't tell for those who haven't watched it. Keep it cryptic. And even if you have to mention a few things, make sure you don't mention that, because that would be, spoiling a lot. So basically, what happens afterwards is, yeah, we're gonna have our characters being stalked, and some kills are gonna occur, and we don't know who that person is, and that's awesome, because you never get to see who that person is. The stalker, you never see their faces, but the way that the camera moves, as if we are basically seeing, from the seeing what. I don't know what kind of technique it's called, but basically you're in the stalker's shoes, and you basically see things from their perspective. I thought that this was such a stroke of genius, because you never get to see who that person is. You're just, seeing things from their perspective. And that's a pretty good thing. So afterwards, we have, the kills taking place, the murders, and we don't know who that is, and we don't know who is going to make it, who's going to survive, and who won't. But it's all part of the whole kind of suspenseful thriller murder mystery thing, right? To put it like that. I hope it doesn't sound too clumsy or anything. I'm just trying my level best to be as spoiler free as I possibly can, to keep this review as spoiler free as it possibly can. Apologize if my words sometimes, are not measured enough. I'm trying my level best to work on that. So yeah, this is a pretty good film. I like how the events progress, how everything unravels, and I thought that, yeah, it's a good way to introduce us to the whole the setting, the atmosphere, the premise of these films, since they all kind of follow the same pattern, so to speak, being different. Every movie is different from the other. But yeah, I have to say that this movie is pretty good. So perhaps we will speak a little bit about the cast, and in a few words, mention a little bit about everybody's performance without going too much into detail, before kind of giving my opinion on the movie and wrapping this up carefully, like in a nice bow kind of thing, wrapped up in a bow. I don't know if that's the expression. I believe it is. But yeah, let's move on to the actors. So we have the main cast. Betsy Palmer plays Mrs. Voorhees. Mrs. Voorhees, I believe that's how it's pronounced. So Betsy Palmer is a pretty good actress. I really liked her in this film, and she's pretty good. She's pretty good. Then we have Adrienne King, who plays Alice, who's one of our main characters. We have Harry Crosby, who plays Bill Brown, who's kind of a funny, goofy kind of guy. Then we have Janine Taylor, who plays Marcy Stanler, who's one of the girls, and she's also a cool character. She's kind of funny too. Then we have Laurie Bartram, who plays Brenda Jones, another female character, obviously. Kevin Bacon, who's a very well-known actor, plays Jack Burrell. Mark Nelson plays Ned Robinstein, my boy Ned, who's one of the funniest of the bunch. At some point, yeah, there's a scene where he's kind of impersonating an Indian, and the another character gets on his case. The character is Sergeant Tyranny, right? I like the transition between the two. Played by Ron Carroll, who I thought was pretty funny. At some point, he tells him to can it. I thought that this was funny, and the guy wouldn't shut up, but, he's threatened by the sergeant, right? Then we have Robbie Morgan, who plays Annie Phillips. Peter Brower plays Steve Christie, who is another character that I really liked, Steve Christie. Then we have Rex Everhart, who plays the truck driver at the beginning. Walt Corney plays Crazy Ralph, who's an interesting character, who's kind of the town loony, and he at some point he warns the campers that they might be in danger. So yeah, he's on his bike, riding on his bike. It's kind of a funny, kind of loony character, but is he right on the fact that could he be in on something? Could he be onto something when he tells them that, when he's suggesting the possibility that there might be a killer lurking around? So obviously, those who have watched it know what I'm talking about. Then we have Willie Adams, who plays Barry. Deborah S. Hayes plays Claudette. Sally Ann Golden plays Sandy, and Ari Lehman plays Jason Voorhees. I apologize if I kind of forgot some characters because there are so many, but I'm pretty sure I remember the main ones. And obviously, I really liked Alice, the character of Alice. I liked Bill, I liked Marcy, I liked Brenda, I liked Jack, I liked Ned Robinstein, I liked Steve, I liked the sergeant. I kind of liked all of the characters. They all were pretty fun to be. It has to be said. I liked the characters. The actors did a pretty good job on this film. So I definitely remember that. So yeah, it's a nice cast. I have to say, a nice crew, and all of them, their characters had their own specific personality traits, which I think were enjoyable for the most part. And yeah, that's a pretty good film. So now let's move on to my final rating of this film. So basically, I liked everything, the beginning, the progression, the big reveal near the end, and the final twist. I thought that everything was done in that sequential order in a very nice way. It's really good to have this whole story unraveling in the way you did. And I really enjoyed pretty much everything about it. It's not necessarily my favorite film of the franchise. In terms of graphicness, in terms of gore, in terms of bloody scenes, it might be the tamest of them all. It's the mildest Friday the 13th film, because there are more, the movies coming afterwards are bloodier or scarier. But this one is definitely a good film. Even though it is less scary, it is less gory, it is less bloody perhaps than the others, it still is pretty good. And some of the kills in this movie were absolutely brutal, especially when you have an axe scene. The axe scene, you have a spear on somebody's neck scene. Some kills take place off screen, I have to say, but it all adds to the mystery. And then, their bodies might or might not be found afterwards. I'll let you find out for yourselves. But yeah, I always thought that the movie, the whole setting in the camp in the woods, offered a very good setting for a horror film. The whole camp set, I really enjoyed that. And also the fact that the movie takes place, mostly during the day, but also at night. I thought that this was pretty good, which brings me to the movie poster, which I think is pretty awesome. see much except a figure wielding a knife, holding a knife, gleaming blade, and the blood dripping from the edge of it. And then you have basically the picture, the woods, and the cabin scene with the campers. I think that this is a really good way to introduce us to the film. Now, bear in mind that this movie was released in 1980. That's a long time ago, at a time when slasher films were basically starting. You have the Halloween franchise not long before, and then you have this one. This is one of the biggest ones too, one of the biggest horror movie franchises, following in the footsteps of Halloween, in the same vein, in the same kind of atmosphere, a similar one with a killer slash, a knife wielding killer who you don't know. You don't know who they are, but it's really interesting to see this. And up until the final twist, when you have the end and everything ends the way it does, you'll be, it'll keep you at the edge of your seats. I really liked how the suspense kind of grows and grows as the movie unravels. The soundtrack, the music, a few words about it. Really enjoyed it, especially the whole whispery kind of soundtrack. And then you have the piano keys, I believe, being hit. So good, so good. Such a masterpiece in the history of horror. So if I were to rate this movie on a scale from 1 to 10, I'd definitely give it an 8 out of 10. Solid review, solid rating, solid film. I really enjoyed it, and how it all goes, how it all progresses, how it all plays out. Really enjoyed this film. So 8 out of 10 for me. Really enjoyable flick. So yeah, watch it if you haven't already. Please do watch it. Please support two of my friends, Grayson from the channel called Strange Grayson, as well as Night of the Living Dude. His name is Michael. Basically, they worked on that franchise 3 years ago, and I was supposed to work with them as well. I actually did, but it was on my other channel. And since that other channel is kept for Goosebumps content only, this one will be basically my horror movie channel, my main horror movie channel. So basically, yes, I'm going to be reviewing these ones. Consider them to be re-improved versions of previous reviews that I conducted in the past. But yeah, this is my personal reviewing video, review of the Friday the 13th film. So please check them out. Please check out their works and support them. They're really good friends of mine. And on the YouTube community, they're awesome assets to the horror movie franchise and to Goosebumps, to horror movie franchises and to Goosebumps as well, to horror films in general. So that's pretty much it for my review. 8 out of 10 for me, and really enjoyed this masterpiece, Friday the 13th. What about you folks? What do you think about Friday the 13th, the 1980 horror classic? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Please let me know. Let me know in the comment section down below. I would really love to hear about your thoughts and views on this film. And please, let's not spoil anything, but whatever you liked about this film, you're free to let me know about that. And that's pretty much it, I believe. And thank you for sticking that long if you have. And I know that it's about 20-minute long review. It's a little long, and hopefully I didn't bore you too much or anything. I was trying my level best to keep my thoughts in order. So yeah, if you made it to the end, thank you. And I'll see you in the next review soon for more Friday the 13th movies, as I'm going to be trying my level best, God willing, to review them in the course of the summer. I'm going to try to review once a week, at least one film of the franchise. I'm rewatching them, and basically I'm enjoying it as well. And I'm trying, to do that, to keep it as a summer, regular thing. Each summer I'm trying to rewatch the Friday the 13th movies, because I figured it is a good time as any to be reviewing these films in this time of year, since, it's the month of June, and this is when the movie is supposed to occur, right? Thank you for watching, and let me know in the comment section down below about your thoughts on Friday the 13th, whether you liked it, whether you disliked it. Thank you for watching, and God willing, we'll see you on the next reviews very soon for more Friday the 13th horror movies for the reviews. In the meantime, folks, stay safe, goodbye, take care, and see you very soon. See ya. This is Horde Town signing off.